Well, we are back here with another gameplay reaction. So, Sunday Night Football game. The Ravens grab a dub. It's a bit late. I'm a bit late on that, but better late than never. I'm gonna have the preview of the Giants game up immediately after I'm done recording this. I'm gonna record the Giants preview. I'm gonna have those back to back. All right. So, again, 19-17. It came down to a last-second field goal for the Ravens to win that game. Again, AFC North type game. Under both teams score under 20 points. Comes down to the wire, and yeah, man. So let's just start off with the offense here. Let's talk about the offense. Offensively, we had a good first drive. That's what I think. We had a good first drive, and then it and after that, nothing really happened afterwards. We really just went on, stalled a lot of times. And after that touchdown, it was only field goals. It was only Tucker scoring for us in that game. Honestly, the last drive was good. So what we did, we started strong, we finished strong, but in the middle, it was very shaky. It was very shaky. So I'm going to start off with the stat line before we get into the offensive line, running backs, receivers, etc., other positions. We're going to start off with the stat line of this game. So, Lamar, 19 out of 32, 174 yards, one passing touchdown, one interception, which was, overthrown too high, sacked once, 12 rushes for 58 yards. He had a 21-yard rush, I think, in the last drive. Passer rating of 71.6. So, on the ground, Dobbins 8 for 44, 5 yards per carry. He had a target. Yeah, I'm sure he had he had a target in the air. But yeah, man. Kenyon Drake, 4 rushes, 26 yards, 6.5 per carry. Devin Duvernay, we really kicked that game off with just spamming that Debo usage. 3 for 24, averaging 8 per carry. And Mike Davis, he only had 1 carry. We continue to just not use Mike Davis. So, alright, I guess. Receiving wise, Andrews 8 receptions for 89 yards and 1 touchdown. The only touchdown the Ravens scored this game. Devin Duvernay, 5 receptions, 54 yards. He had himself a big game. He has 78 total yards. DeMarcus Robinson, 1 reception for 8. Tylan Wallace, 1 for 8. James Prochet, 1 for 7. Isaiah Likely, 2 for 7. Kenyon Drake, 1 for 1. All right. And Tucker, he had all 4 of his field goals and the extra point, including a 58-yarder. We only had a 1 kick return the entire game. Duvernay with only 15 yards. Stout had himself a good game as well. He only punted twice for 79. Both of them inside the 20. So that's fine. And punt return, again, Duvernay, 1 for 4. Defensively, Patrick Queen had a pick, and him and Peters led the team in tackles. Peters also had a sack. Same for Bynes and Jason Pierre-Paul, who had himself a very good game as well. But yeah, man, that's the end of it here. For the Bengals, 34 out of 25 for Burrow, 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, sacked twice, and he had a passer rating 82.7. So not much more. Rushing, Joe Mixon at 14 for 78, 5.6 per carry. Samaje Perine 3 for 17. That's pretty much everything that's relevant. Tyler Boyd, him getting absolutely rocked by Marcus Peters, actually counted as a carry and minus 12. Interesting. So no Bengals receiver has went over 50 yards aside from Hayden Hurst, and he had the touchdown. He had their first touchdown, but other than that, really, Jamar Chase only had 50 yards. But yeah, man. Defensively, they had Von Bell with the pick. You had Logan Wilson leading the way with tackles. But that's pretty much what's relevant for them in this game. So let's go ahead and talk about Lamar here. Lamar, he in the second and third quarter he had some missed throws, but other than that, he didn't play all that bad. He played a subpar game. But yeah, man. Every quarterback has these games, and honestly, he's allowed to play ugly. He's allowed to win ugly, and it's just that conception that, like, if he doesn't play well, it doesn't feel like a win. But he hasn't played bad. He showed up. He showed up when it mattered. He had his struggles, but again, let Lamar win ugly. Find other ways to win than him just putting up video game numbers. So that's up with him. For our running backs, Kenyon Drake, he had a better day. The running game is improving. J.K. Dobbins played a good game, but again, he didn't have the amount of carries you'd expect him to, and he showed his disappointment on Twitter. He kept liking these tweets, but honestly, I'm not going to take too much stock into it, at least for now, especially if it's not going to be a continuation, because, again, Dobbins from experience, everything he likes, that he likes, on Twitter, he likes everything that involves him, no matter what. No matter what it is, he just likes it. So, all I'm going to do is just disregard that for now. Again, Mike Davis, he's looking to be on his way out soon. We continue to just not use him. At all. We do not want him running the ball. So, it's pretty much marking the end. Gus Edwards, he has what, 2 more weeks to come back or something like that, because he has like a 21-day window between him coming off of IR and him actually coming back to play before we put him back on IR and his season is over again. So I think Mike Davis, it's too bad because he was playing well in preseason. He was playing very, very well in preseason, and again, he's had his fumble issues, and that's pretty much for Harbaugh. That just marks just doghouse territory. So he's pretty much on his way out, the way I see it. Receiving wise, Devin Duvernay actually had, again, Devin Duvernay is the biggest surprise out of every receiver. For him to be actually performing the way he is, again, really big surprise, and honestly, he's our wide receiver too. Wide receiver 1 for now, but he's been at times outplaying Bateman. So again, he's really been going off. Mark Andrews did his thing, 88 yards. So you'll have to see it. Everything you want from Mark Andrews. The past 2 years, he has taken his game to the next level. Prochet and Wallace, again, they showed up. Wallace could have had his first touchdown of his career if it wasn't for that overthrow by Lamar. But yeah, he's going to have more chances if Bateman does not play this week. He might. He might play this week against the Giants. But honestly, if Bateman plays, then kind of over with the chances. But again, it's too bad. Like, they decided to trade Hollywood and then decide to get nobody to replace him. And it's like, I mean, to me, it's like, if you're not going to replace Hollywood, you use your guys to the fullest. And that's not what they're doing, except for, like, Bateman and Duvernay. Really not. So, yeah. That really stings, honestly, because we will never know how good those two will be. And Andy Isabella's coming as well, so you're going to have a little bit of... Again, Ravens don't like receivers. I mean, if you're not a wide receiver 2, at least on this team, you're not seeing any play time. And that's very too bad, especially with that run first philosophy. It's too bad. It's too bad. But yeah, man. Harsh reality. Offensive line wise, Ronnie Stanley, and I'm very glad we kept him out for a few games, because Ronnie Stanley, he was on pitch count. It was him and McCary who were rotating. And, like, that's, like, very, very, probably the best case scenario. Because it looked like we got Stanley back, like, at his fullest. Really. I mean, he was still on pitch count, to be careful. But I've been thinking, even if we get, like, 80% of Stanley back, that's a plus. Because he is not supposed to be coming back from an injury like this. He's not supposed to be playing football ever again. And when he was on the field, you saw the difference. And then you had Patrick McCary, where you saw the difference in a negative light. I mean, you saw the difference. You really saw the difference between him and McCary. Things were going really well with Stanley. With McCary, not too well a lot of the time. So, Ronnie Stanley is back, boys. And it's been a long time we've been waiting for this. And I'm honestly, I'm really happy that the front office really learned from their mistake last year and actually didn't rush him back this time around. Because last year he rushed him back and then he had another surgery. I mean, his whole injury shit is just a mess. It's really one injury. It's one injury, and then after that, it's all that soft tissue stuff, and just all that little thing, all that little shit in his ankle. So, all right, man. He's back. Hopefully, he sees more snaps in the coming weeks, because again. We're only trying to ease him in right now, but at some point he needs to be back full time. So, yeah, man. That's about Stanley. Linderbaum, as always, he hasn't allowed a pressure. And same for Stanley. In his return, he hasn't allowed a pressure. But Tyler Linderbaum, he's playing like the man. So, again, very impressed. Inside, you're going to have Zeitler, all right, doing his thing. And then you're going to have Ben Powers, who's been playing solid, only solid. But, Ben Cleveland failing his conditioning test has kind of ruined his chances because it's unfair, but it kind of has. So like, I don't know when we're gonna see him ever. So that's all. So that's pretty much my take on him. And talking about Nick Boyle, I think Nick Boyle might as well retire. He hasn't really seen much playtime, and his knee, it's completely effed up. All right, it's absolutely effed up. So, it's not looking really good for him. I really don't see him much. So that's about him. And for the offense, let's finish with Greg Roman here. Greg Roman had a good first drive. I've seen him doing what I wanted him to do. Use him as use Duvernay like Debo. He's been throwing in that same shit. But then, he's had a good last drive. He's had a very, very good play call to get us into field goal range. So I'm happy about that. He finished very, very strong. But yeah, man, I'm not really going to overstate anything about Roman, honestly, because again, there's a lot of people with that hope of, oh yeah, he's finally getting better. Like, pump the brakes. What I really want to see is what he does in the playoffs, because in the regular season he's not all terrible. That's when the playoffs is when it just completely crumbles. So pump the brakes. I'm waiting for the playoffs. Credit to Roman. He's getting too much credit at the moment because he's no genius all of a sudden. Come on, he's no genius all of a sudden. He's had an okay game. Again, he's been average this year. He hasn't been good. He's been average. He's had his hiccups. He's had his same issues at times that I've shown. He hasn't been perfect. Come on. So let's just shift to the defense here. Let's start off with Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald has since week 2 has improved so much, and it's not even state enough. He is his fan base. He's his fan base's punching bag since the beginning of the year. Yet he's improved more than Roman has improved in his entire career. And Roman, he's been there. He's been in offense coordinator forever. McDonald, he's pretty much been OC for DC for 5 weeks. He's a rookie. So shout out to him. Defensively, we really need to start with Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. This secondary, again, a healthy secondary could do so much. All right? Because again, last year, what happened with the secondary, with all the injuries, I think Burrow combined for 1,000 yards in both games. Well, he's only had 200 yards. So it's really not like Burrow looks average against grocery bag workers, I guess. Bengals fans who were being insufferable about Chase and all these weapons. Well, it's very easy. I could have had. I could have had 600 yards against that secondary last year. So, yeah. again, a healthy secondary. Wait a sec. What I'm going to do, we're going to compare what it was in Week 16, by the way. All right? Week 16. Okay? So, Week 16 of 2021 against the Bengals, the cornerback core was Anthony Averett, Tavon Young, Kayvon Seymour, and Darryl Worley. So, no Peters or Humphrey. Anthony Averett got injured in that game in the first quarter. So, you really had Tavon Young, Kayvon Seymour, and Darryl Worley. And Burrow had 525 passing yards. And he got named the next Brady, the next this, the next that. Like, all that, bro. He got all the praise. He got sucked off so hard, bro. Now, Week 5, 2022. Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Brendan Stevens, and Pepe Williams. Burrow, 217 passing yards. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins combined for like 83 yards. Chase had 50. Tyler Boyd had 33. T. Higgins had none, and he played a half of football. He got injured, but he played a half of football still. So that still counts. He played a half of football. So the difference a healthy secondary makes. I mean, again, Bengals fans thought it was all going to be... what happened Week 16 of last year was going to happen every single time for the next decade. Well, it's a really good thing we got them a reality check. And I'm so glad Jamar Chase got to meet his uncle, Marcus Peters. Because Marlon Humphrey is his father, and Marcus Peters is his uncle. Because Peters, he looks like the hungry uncle. But Marlon Humphrey allowed 19 yards. I have no clue how much Peters really allowed to Chase, but that's really not much. He didn't allow much at all. Because again, all of Chase's yards were on screens. It was on wide receiver screens where they were trying to move him around. What they did, Peters was on him, and then he tried to move him to Humphrey. Nothing worked. All right? And then after that, the Bengals tried just moving him around to our other corners. And it didn't work. And honestly, he still got a decent amount of yards on those, but it still didn't go that well. And again, Marlon Humphrey, it was so important for him to come back into all-pro form because he had a slight down year, and people forgot about him. And again, it's really a nice punch in the face to anybody who just thought he was washed after a slight down year last year. After a slight down year. He was not healthy at all, and he missed. He got injured. He aggravated his injuries and missed a good part of the year. So he really had no chance to redeem himself after a very worrisome first half because he had like 2 bad games already. So again, he's come back to lockdown. He's had like 216 throws without allowing what? Wait a second, I have to check. He's tied first with Darius Slay with the most coverage snaps without allowing a touchdown this season. Him and Darius Slay are tied for first. 216 coverage snaps without allowing a touchdown. Marcus Peters, he was injured in the Dolphins game. Let's not count that. But ever since that, he's really been that guy. And again, Marcus Peters' energy is exactly what you need. This is exactly what you need in a team. Pepe Williams, he's been balling out, and that guy, he's a very good tackler, and he looks involved in every play. He gets himself involved in every play. He gets the hands in the dirty areas. He's everywhere. Brendan Stevens, he can be up and he can be up and down, but this time it was up. So, again, you love to see it from the secondary. Well, and it's very good that the secondary gave Bengals fans a reality check that Burrow isn't invincible. Burrow doesn't own the Ravens. The Ravens own him. And, all right. And now let's shift to the pass rush. Pass rush, we got... Honestly, it's one of the only games where we actually got something. Some pressure, especially early on. It died down at some points, but we still got pressure a lot of the time. And Jason Pierre-Paul actually balled out in his only second game. Bro, him just getting off his couch and completely manhandling Lael Collins is not talked about enough. He was bullying Lael Collins. And again, I know Lael Collins hasn't been playing well this year, but still, he's coming off the streets and he's crushing it. He is absolutely crushing it. You love to see it. You love to see it from the guys here. Owe, again, he's getting held. He's getting hugged. He's absolutely getting held. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm really excited to see what the pass rush has in store in future weeks, because Ojabo and Bowser both started practicing this week, so they're going to be back soon. Not this week. I don't think they're going to be back this week, but they're going to be back soon. So that's going to be, again, some help on the way. And honestly, our pass rush, when healthy, is very deep. Our edge room is very, very deep. So again, talking about the rest of the linebackers, Josh Bynes played well. Patrick Queen played well. He's been getting a lot of hate. He actually caught a pick. He actually caught something. So again, redeeming himself. But yeah, Patrick Queen, he hasn't been as bad as people think he was this year. But again, it's really, really good news to see him balling out like that. Hopefully he continues to play like this. But yeah, man, Josh Bynes, again, playing well. But yeah, man, safeties, Marcus Williams got a dislocated wrist. A dislocated wrist. And again, he's going to be out for a long time. It's not season ending, but he's going to be out for a long, long time. And for the rest of the game, for the second half, we brought in Geno Stone. And Geno Stone, on that play where the Bengals tried their stupid Philly special, he was the one who covered Burrow so that no pass is executed. So Tyler Boyd was trapped and he got hit stick by Andrews. So you'll love to see it. You love to see it. He's been an underrated part of this play. That's an underrated part of this play. So it's going to be either him or Kyle Hamilton who's going to take his spot. Hopefully it's Kyle Hamilton. I want to see Kyle Hamilton actually get some more snaps, because he's our first round pick. We've invested a first round pick on him, and we should be able to be fully invested on him. So hopefully it's him. If it's Geno Stone, all right. If he's playing well, I guess. But yeah, man, we are deep at that position at least. All right. So. And, that's pretty much it. Defensively, we played very well. The defense actually showed up. And it's very, very good to see, honestly. It's honestly amazing to see that our defense has picked it up in the past 3 weeks. Honestly, it really has. So yeah, man, and especially that win again, it allows us to talk shit for the rest of the week. For the rest of the week, against these Bengals fans who have been insufferable this offseason. They've been insufferable this offseason, and it's not all rainbows and butterflies, just like last year. All right, and it's a good thing we sent them that message, real clear. All right. So, see you guys in the Giants preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me guys what you thought about this game. And, yeah, see you guys in the next one.